You're welcome to another edition of Looking for Buyer Abroad I've been talking about. Welcome to DBA TV. If you are joining us for the first time, thank you very much for stopping by rather. In this program, I basically talk about looking for buyers, and because we realize that a lot of people are having challenges and issues looking for buyer, and that's why we decided to start having this kind of conversation, discussing issue around buyers. So if you are joining for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, share with your friends and allies who might be interested in learning about export actually, or who are looking for buyers or trying to get buyers abroad. And of course, drop your comment in the comment section, because I'm very much interested in helping you to solve the problem you are having as far as getting buyer is concerned. So please drop your comment in the comment section. Now, what we are looking at today is another interesting topic, which I'm sure you will have seen on the caption, and it's talking about this is the most critical success factor in export business. What is this that is the most critical success factor in export business? Export business is knowledge intensive. And because export business is knowledge intensive, it then becomes very important and necessary for anyone getting involved in export business to be able to know how to go about it. The most critical success factor in export business is knowledge. I repeat that. The most critical success factor in export business is knowledge. And probably the most critical success factor in business in general. But I think export is a bit peculiar for obvious reasons. You know, there are so many things about export, about trade, international trade, that change from time to time. Let me give you an example. In 2000 I've been in trade for about 2 decades. When I started my career in trade, international trade, Incoterm was Incoterm 2000. Incoterm international commercial terms is a rule guiding if I'm moving goods from one point of the world to the other. How do we separate transaction cost and risk between buyer and seller? So, do you know that I've seen 3 Incoterms in the last 2 decades? 3 Incoterms. I've seen Incoterm 2000, I've seen Incoterm 2010, and I've now seen Incoterm 2020. 2000, 2010, 2020. So the rule keeps changing. That's just an example. Even at the country level, like I'm in Nigeria, talking from Nigeria for example, and Nigerian trade regulation keep changing. In fact, this week there is a new regulation in international trade in Nigeria. It's called the price verification system. So you see trade rule changing, you see processes changing, you see regulation changing. All these changes is what is necessitating the need for knowledge. Is what is necessitating the need for knowledge. So there are so many things you need to know about. An excellent knowledge of the potential of buyer in export market is very, very, very important. Of the potential rather of buyers, or potential of your product in the export market is very important. The excellent knowledge of the potential of the product you are trying to sell is very important. It helps you to mitigate your risk. It helps you to minimize delay, reduce delay. It helps you to prevent or avoid discrepancies. It helps you to be able to prevent the occurrence of demurrage. It helps you to prevent the occurrence of demurrage. It helps you in understanding the step-by-step processes involved. It helps you in managing the supply chain, because international is largely a business supply chain. Managing the supply chain. It helps you in, I can go on and on and on and on different things that knowledge help you. So it's like, it pretty much helps you to avoid many things that can go wrong. For example, minimizing risk. Payment risk, for example. Quality risk, for example. Discrepancy risk, for example. Economy risk, for example. Political risk, for example. Credit risk, for example. It minimizes the risk for you. It helps you to be able to use a payment method that would have been lead to a loss, and help you to be able to manage it and minimize your loss. There's so much that you need to know and understand as far as international trade is concerned. That just having the right knowledge prevents the pain of loss that will happen if you do not have that understanding. Pre-export documentation, post-export documentation. The shipping document in general, from the bill of lading to the invoice to the packing list to the inspection report to the insurance. And if you have to do airway bill or roadway bill, what are the peculiarity of each of these documents? So knowledge is the most critical success factor. Do you know what I notice? Many people want to come into this business, they don't want to learn. In fact, some people will tell me, Dele, I don't like theory, I like practical. I prefer practical, I want to do practical, I don't want theory. Instead of saying he doesn't want to spend money to pay and be paid to learn. Rather say that, he said he wants practical. And as a science student in secondary school, I did what is called acid, base, and salt in SS2. Acid, base, and salt. Acid, base, and salt is a topic in chemistry. After we did that theory in class, we now went to the lab, chemistry lab, to do what is called titration and determine endpoint. So I know if I titrate hydrochloric acid against sodium hydroxide, I'm going to get sodium chloride plus water. I still remember my chemistry. Sodium chloride plus water. Now, what I'm going to say is that I'm able to know I'm going to get sodium chloride plus water because I learned it in theory. And I can write down that equation because I learned it in theory. I'm just trying to underscore the point that you cannot say the only thing you are interested in is getting the you cannot say no interested in is doing the practical without knowing the knowledge. How do you even know the document involved in pre-export documentation? How do you even know the document you put together for it? You must learn it in theory for you to practicalize it. You must learn it in theory for you to practicalize it. So please do not even buy the idea. No matter how old you are not too old to learn. I have people in my class who are in their 60s. One of them almost goes to 70. Of course, people in their 40s and 50s are normal. And 30s, of course, are normal, even 20s. But I have people in 60s who are learning. Some of them even want to write exam. Why? They want to know it well and mind their business well. So that even if you are going to hire a staff to do it, the staff that they are hiring to do it, they want to be able to train that staff. So for the staff to do what it needs to do. So that even if the staff leave tomorrow, they can do it themselves. So do not shy away from learning and saying that it's practical you want. This is because having a good understanding of the purchaser, the target market where the purchaser operates, help you as an exporter in your promotional activity. The knowledge of the export market is critical for you to be able to know the entry strategy, because it helps you to know the demography of the consumer, the reason they buy, the way they buy, when they buy, why they buy, where they buy, and what motivate them to buy at any point in time. Understand their mindset in general. So please remember, this is the most critical success factor in export business. And this is knowledge. 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 Learning cannot be overemphasized in export business. I believe this video has been of interest to you or benefit to you, and you have learned one or two things in this video. Please remember to share with your friend, like this video. Remember also to drop your comment. You know what your comment does is it helps us to know how you feel and think about what we're doing, and then the recommendation you are making for us to be able to improve and get better and be able to serve you better, so that whenever you come to this channel, you are sure you are going to get value before you leave this channel. Remember, this is DBA TV, and all we do is talking international trade. And in the recent time, we have been focusing on export. and our interest is talking to you on how to get buyer. My name remains Dela Imibo, your export doctor, and I'm signing out.